All right, if you're just joining us, you're watching TVC Breakfast, and on this segment, we're discussing Zamfara State. The bandits there are challenging the people, and they've been attacking and killing people in Zamfara State. And that's what we're discussing right now. We have in our Abuja studio the special advisor to Zamfara State Governor on Public Enlightenment, Media and Communication, Ibrahim Dusara, with us in there. Now, Busalami, you were asking a question earlier on before we went on break.
Yes, we would like to know what the communities are doing, the local vigilantes, and how your governor is perhaps empowering them to be able to defend themselves.
Well, you see, as far as the governor is concerned, he has been meeting stakeholders, including security agencies, including traditional rulers, government officials, community and opinion leaders to find solution to the problem. And one of the problems that were discovered is the issue of the local vigilante, because they have now constituted themselves to be a kind of authority where they go in search of Fulani men in the rural markets, in the rural communities, arresting them and killing them. And that also engineered the trouble from the Fulani people, especially the criminals in the forest, to come in search of the local vigilante to take a revenge. And this is what is aggravating the whole situation. So now that the government is made to be aware of this kind of problem, a lot of laws have been put in place banning the local vigilante called NSAK, and nobody is now allowed to operate as NSAK in Zamfara State so as to bring peace within the state. And also, the governor has ordered for the closure of all unauthorized or illegal motor parks, because most of these illegal motor parks are being used in taking weapons, food, and other facilities to the criminals in the forest. So, government has banned such illegal motor parks, and not only that, the traditional rulers have been ordered to ensure that there is no NSAK activities within their communities, so that peace is restored within the community. Security agencies have also been directed to ensure that they go in search of all hideouts where criminals are suspected to be hiding, so that a lot of flush out will be done against these criminals. And so many actions in terms of finances. The governor has approved a lot of money for the security agencies to facilitate the operation.
All right, Ibrahim.
Like I told you earlier,
Ibrahim, let me ask you this. Zamfara State is not the only state in the northwest, as the case may be. But what is peculiar about Zamfara State that is making these bandits or rustlers not go anywhere else but Zamfara State?
Can you come again, please?
All right, I'm asking what is peculiar about Zamfara State that is making these bandits to be attracted to the state away from others?
Well, what is making it peculiar is the nature and the magnitude of their operation. You see, like I said also earlier, that these criminals, one will wonder how they are getting their weapons. I told you also that the criminals are getting their weapons most of the time through helicopters in the forest. And like I told you, the criminal gangs is made up of various tribes, not only from Nigeria, but also across West Africa, There are people from Gambia, from Senegal, from Mali, across West Africa. So these people are made up of a group of individuals that come from various tribes and come from various city-states across West Africa. So this is what makes it so peculiar and different from other problems in Nigerian states. And like I told you, Zamfara state is surrounded by a kind of forest where these people have the opportunity to be going round from one place to the other. And that has given them also an edge. So Zamfara is being turned by these criminals as a kind of some visa for them to operate. And like I told you, this is likely to be a kind of sponsored terrorism against the community of Zamfara state or against the people of Zamfara state. And the issue of actions by the government has been doing everything possible to ensure that these criminals are blocked from operation. But unfortunately, due to the magnitude and the nature of the operation, the problem persists.
All right, Ibrahim, let me ask you this.
The government is on it.
Yeah, Ibrahim, let me ask you this quickly. You used the word likely sponsored terrorism against people of Zamfara state. And you also made mention of, or you mentioned the dropping of weapons by helicopter. Can you give us the likely motive why anyone would do this against people in Zamfara state?
Pardon?
All right, Ibrahim, if you can hear me, you just said that that this is likely a sponsored terrorism against Zamfara people, and you also mentioned the fact that weapons are dropped by helicopter sometimes. Can you tell us what could be the motive behind any sponsored terrorism against people of Zamfara state?
Well, it could be political interests. It could be other motives which are yet to be known to the people of Zamfara state. But actually, you cannot just see people ganging up themselves, killing people, innocent people in their villages, and then think it is just an ordinary crime. No. You like every other community, they have their own, but the Zamfara issue is terrifying. The criminals are now going about killing people, not taking their cows. So it's not a matter of cattle wrestling any longer. It is a kind of criminality that is being perpetrated. They don't take anything. They just go into the village and start shooting, sporadically killing people, and going away to another village, killing people. Why? So one will not overrule the possibility of a kind of sponsorship. And for the fact that they are getting their weapons is another question one will have to ask. There should be a kind of control to prevent people from getting access to weapons. But these people are getting their weapons. Why? And where? And then also, like I told you, they have sophisticated weapons, ranging from RPGs, the guns, the machine guns and other ammunitions they used in killing people, and even bringing down aircrafts. They have such machineries and weapons with them. How are they getting all these weapons?
All right. I know you have praised the present administration, Ibrahim.
And for the fact that they are getting these weapons through the helicopter, one can say where and how are they getting the helicopter to bring them in the forest. So this is why many people are thinking that this criminality is being sponsored by a particular group of people.
All right.
Their
On a final
motives
note,
is
Ibrahim,
best
let me
known
just
to them.
quickly chip in this particular question. I know you have praised the present administration for helping out, but do you think this is the time to do more? It has taken a different dimension as we speak, according to you. It is not just a cattle rustling anymore. Do you think a state of emergency should be declared in Zamfara state?
Well, I don't think there is need for any state of emergency to be declared in Zamfara state, but the governor himself has declared state of emergency on security in Zamfara state.
Well, it's not helping out, is it?
This is done in connection with the federal government, and the federal government has already sent troops, and they are on ground operating on air and by ground, and they are combing the forests in search of the hideouts of the criminals so that more rigid action is taken against them to completely wipe them out of Zamfara state, so that the people of Zamfara state will have their peace and go about doing their normal businesses.
All right, Ibrahim.
The issue has seriously affected the economy of the state. Right. The issue has seriously affected the psychology of the people. It has put fears in the minds of so many individuals in Zamfara state, especially farmers. You are aware that Zamfara is a farming community, and many people could not go to their farms this time around because of fear of these criminals.
All right, Ibrahim
So
Dusara.
the governor himself has already declared a state of emergency in security sector in Zamfara state.
Thank you, Ibrahim.
Along with
Except
the
of
federal
course it's not
government
yielding much
to ensure
results.
that the criminals are kicked out of the state.
All right.
All right, Ibrahim Dusara, a special advisor to the Zamfara State Governor on Public Enlightenment, Media and Communication. Thank you for spending your morning with us on TVC Breakfast.